What's up, boys and girls? I am going to show you a few things about the Taurus G2C here today, just because I've noticed that when I bought mine and I was doing my research to find things I needed for it, it wasn't really easy to find a ton of good information. So I'm going to throw out a little bit of information that would have helped me. Hopefully it'll help you as well. We'll start with the G2C because I know everyone is going to freak out. I already disassembled it. There is nothing in the tube. There is nothing in the mag well. The gun is actually disassembled. My mags are over there. Okay. Once you have your Taurus, if you don't know how to do this already, you just slide your barrel in the front, pull it back, take the big end of your spring, put it to the front, push it down until it falls over the lip here. It doesn't take much. And then you're going to take your frame. There's a set of wings on the front right here that go into the dovetails on the back of the slide. And then you got to match up the dovetails on the other end of the slide here. Then you can cycle it, run it through a set of cycles, and make sure it functions. Sweet. So one of the first things that I changed about my Taurus G2C is that I added this fiber front sight. I had a terrible time picking up the view down the sights, trying to line this up, with the white front dot. It just didn't work great for me. I know there are night sights and other things out there. You can choose what type of sight is best for you. They all have different functions. This one's from Lakeline LLC. You have to choose what color fiber rod you want in here and actually put the fiber rod in yourself. But it was super easy. There's some other videos out there about how to do that. Recommend that. They also make rear sights as well. Very easy to install, very easy to manipulate. Super cool. Definitely check it out. Now, if you are just going to run the stock firearm, you can get a basic holster like this. This one was from Amazon. I don't remember what the company name was, but I will try to Amberide, maybe, is what it was. I'll put a link down there below. If you want to buy one, just use the link. You know how that works. It would be sweet. That holster actually works really well. I'm not mad about it. It holds on to the belt well. It's got a little adjustability here from side to side, so you can change the angle that the gun is sitting. So you can like cock the gun off like this and get the handle up a little bit easier to handle. I actually like that holster pretty well, and I still use it if I'm not carrying my light and I want a smaller holster. But at some point I picked up the Olight, what is this, the Mini Valkyrie. This one is the PL Mini Valkyrie. There it is. I like it a lot. A lot of people give it crap because it's not a popular gun name brand. But it is very bright. It works great. It's more affordable than the other ones. It fits on well. Very simple to use. Very simple to operate. I recommend it. So I haven't had any problems with it. That's all I can say. I'm not a Special Forces guy, so like maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I recommend it. It works great. So once I picked that up, I needed a holster because this won't fit in the small holster on the gun. So I had to custom order a holster, which is part of what I'm here to talk about today, because it was very hard to find. It took me forever to find somebody that would make a light-bearing holster for the G2C with the Olight, because apparently people don't like the G2C and people don't like the Olight. The gun community thinks that they're not as cool as some other brands, so not too many people make holsters for it. I had to have this one custom made, and it's great. This is from Burly Man Tactical. Obviously, this is a Appendix rig. I like it a lot. You can customize the living crap out of this from Burly Man Tactical. You can get it with or without the light bearing, with or without the claw, with the ulti clips or with regular belt clips. You can get, left-facing, right-facing magazine, all sorts of different stuff. They make one that doesn't have the magazine holster, so if you just want the firearm and not the magazine, you can get that as well. So Burly Man Tactical is the place to go. They were super easy to work with. Took them a little bit to turn around my holster, but it was custom made and all that stuff, so I'm not mad about it. I got the concealment wedge down here, which can be removed. So I would recommend ordering it with the wedge and then removing the wedge if you don't like it, because it's easy enough to do. I had to do a little bit of tinkering around to like get these set up exactly at the height I wanted and where I wanted. You can see that like I had to use different screw holes just to sort of get it to work out the way that I wanted. The other ones are inside, you can't see them. So anyways, after tinkering with it a little bit and getting used to it, it wears great. The concealment wedge bothered me at first because it kind of presses into like the soft tissue at the lower abdomen or upper pelvis. That bothered me for a little while and I thought it was going to be a big problem. Eventually I stopped noticing it and the problem went away. So basically, like if I'm carrying light, this is a no-go, but it is totally fine if I'm not carrying light. Holds well, and you can adjust the tension here. So anyways, I highly recommend checking out Burly Man Tactical and Lakeline LLC. Again, Lakeline makes this. Lakeline also makes some aftermarket barrels, like threaded barrels, and now they're even making little micro compensators, which I would kind of like to pick up and try, but my budget doesn't really fit that right at the moment, so haven't tried that yet. But the other thing you should check out, a lot of people aren't super happy with the way that the trigger works. If you don't pull dead straight back here, you'll get hung up about halfway back. Hear that? And I don't like that either. It kind of bothers me. But as long as you're not pulling like an idiot, if you're pulling straight back and depressing the trigger and not shoving it sideways, it works just fine. So you can easily come back to the wall and shoot off of the wall. But if you try to like really jam your fingers sideways and you have kind of like a poor technique, or maybe you're under pressure and you're shooting faster, whatever it is, if you don't get a good straight trigger pull, sometimes you get hung up halfway back, which obviously is not the most desirable. I've probably put 1,200, 1,500 rounds through this. I've never had a problem with it while shooting it. I've only really noticed it when I go out of my way to like feel it and mess around with it. Otherwise, it's a long trigger pull back to the wall, but once you're on the wall, it's a nice, crisp, clean break. I don't have a problem with that myself. Some people give it crap for that. You can replace this trigger with an aftermarket trigger from Just Keep Tinkering. Highly recommend checking out Just Keep Tinkering. I haven't replaced mine yet. I might in the future. I just haven't done it yet. Just Keep Tinkering makes some cool replacement triggers that substantially reduce the amount of travel to the wall, like 30, 45, 50% like reduced trigger travel. Some of them get rid of the safety dongle or whatever the hell this thing's called in the center. But this gun's got a manual safety anyways, so I guess arguably you don't need that. Some of them do have that in there. There's a bunch of triggers they make, different shapes, styles, designs. So I would check that out, and I would recommend that. So Olight, good light, highly recommend it. If you've heard crap about it, ignore it, pick it up. Burly Man Tactical for your holsters, highly recommend them. And Lakeline LLC for some new sights, and Just Keep Tinkering for some new triggers, if that's what you're into. Good luck, have fun. Hopefully I showed you a couple things that were helpful. If you want to see something or you have questions, let me know. I'll make another video. I kind of just wanted to get some brands out there so people could know about them and some things that I've learned and used on my gun that have worked. So check out some of that stuff. Hopefully you'll find what you need and it can make your shooting a little bit better.